Welcome back. Hope everyone enjoyed lunch. We're going to get started with the second round of the No Beverage Showdown finals. And we have our contestant right here, Sheng Xu from Lattea. How are you? That was the most punctual entrance I've ever seen in my whole life. Well done.
Made it right on time.
All right.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sheng Xu, and we are the creator of the first ready-to-drink tea lattes called Lattea. Part of my culture, I started with investment banks in bulge bracket realm, including Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan. And something I remember from those careers were these daily coffee runs. I would go with a group of analysts, and everybody orders triple shots venti lattes while I get a decaf coffee. Well, this is because although I needed the daily energy, I couldn't enjoy coffee because of the severe acidic reflux from coffee. Also, the horrible jitters and the crash. Luckily, I had a previous career as a barista, taking part-time jobs as a teenager, where I've worked at Starbucks and local tea shops. And when it comes to creating a new beverage concoction, I'm your best curator. I try to create a new beverage based on tea instead of coffee, and I've sourced recipes from Asia's bubble tea, Mongolia's salted butter tea, as well as the British tea culture. The result is an extremely creamy and delicious latte that still has the strong energy and yet is steady. There's nothing like this on the market. I then went on to pursue my MBA at the Wharton School of Business, and I've utilized Wharton's platform to launch Lattea as a physical tea shop. With our shop here, as you can see, we were able to directly engage and educate the consumers. We were able to analyze the feedback and the data, as well as perfect and innovate the recipes. Within the past 12 months, we've sold more than 100,000 cups of our tea lattes. And today, we're here with the 3 most popular flavors from our shop: the classic milk tea, the Thai tea with coconut milk, and the rose milk tea with oats milk. We're proud to utilize the HPP method to combine the simple ingredients of just tea and milk for a clean label product with no added flavoring, no binders, no carrigan, and no gum. Just like how a cafe-quality, handcrafted beverage should taste. Our products are currently at 30 days shelf life, and it's retailed at $3.50. All right, so we're at the middle of several growing trends, including the bubble tea trend that is growing in the US cafes, the healthy energy trend, and the healthier tea drinkers in the tea market. We know that our target customers are the global-minded millennials who are probably traveling a lot, watching anime and listening to K-pop, and they probably post on TikTok. Most likely, they're eating ramen and drinking boba tea already on a regular basis, and they will be more than thrilled to find these ready to drink. We also see ourselves being positioned right next to the healthy energy beverage in the grocery stores, positioning right next to the cold brew coffees and the energy drinks. And because of our caffeine-forward positioning, having 3 times the caffeine of regular tea, we see ourselves as a competitive replacement for coffee and energy drinks. Okay, so we built a great local presence by working with a lot of great local companies, including Mog, previous winner, as well as YogaWorks and Yelp. And we have a great follower on Instagram and phenomenal reviews online. But most importantly, as we look at our future growth, we love to continue that grassroots movement and start with the small selective stores as we launch in the fall. We love to launch with Whole Food and H-E-B Central Market and start to continue this organic movement. We're not here for the fast money or the major growth. This is because we understand that beverage companies come and go. But for us, we're not a trend, a fad, or we're not a healthy claim company that has claims that's not approved by the FDA yet. For us, what we wanted to do is a long-term and sustainable company that can go mainstream, as proven and tested by a lot of global markets, also backed by craveable, delicious taste, healthy functionality, and most importantly, a group of creators who are diverse, global-minded, and passionate about bridging cultures, making the world smaller, one bottle of Lattea at a time. Thank you. Cheers.
Well done. Yeah, just slide over. Thank you very much. Dan, I saw you looking at the screen about that showed the untapped market for Lattea. What do you think about that opportunity for the brand and for the product itself?
Yeah, I guess my biggest question is, this is somewhat of a new category you're creating, so love to sort of hear your thoughts on how you're going to educate the consumer on what exactly this is, how they're going to use it. That would be
Absolutely,
helpful to understand.
yes. So that's why we started with a physical shop. And with the shop, we directly educate and talk with the consumers. And I'm the one who's making the drinks and handing the drinks to the consumers. And I believe because it's a new category, that's the right way to get it started. Of course, we're going to need a lot more help in the future as we scale. But we believe that the new generation, who are extremely global-minded, as we quoted, would be familiar and happy to find this new beverage ready to drink.
And is your plan to take this omni-channel and open up more locations, or do you want to just use that one location and then build out
Absolutely.
retail?
The location is being used as a showroom, and it will be phased out because we are focusing much more on the major distributions in omni-channel, absolutely.
Lee Sheng talked about positioning Lattea next to coffee, cold brew coffee, and energy drinks. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that's a natural fit. You've got a consumer there that's kind of ready for it. I think that there's a need for this in the market. I think that the flavor profiles are great. I'm not saying this to scare you. I can think of half a dozen suppliers right now, though, that could make that right now. They have the supply chain, they have the ingredient base, and they have the brand equity to do it. I think it's going to be your job to prove out the founder's story as to why they don't have license to do that.
Absolutely, and that's why I'm here at BevNet claiming as the category innovator. So we've already claimed this.
Well done.
All right, then. Kalam, in terms of the branding, in terms of the package design, what's your take?
Yeah, one question I had was the caffeine delivery was pretty important to you in terms of your reason for coming up with this, but I don't really see that on the packaging prominently of delivering either energy cues or even just specific call outs. So maybe you want to talk about your decision?
Yes, so
not to do that?
first version of our label wanted to keep it clean, to focus on the simple ingredients. There is a call out that there's 3 times the caffeine of regular tea, but as we grow, we will definitely consider better call out and packaging for sure.
Yeah. Refrigerated tea product, John Craven, in terms of the flavor and the positioning as a refrigerated tea product, what's your thoughts?
I mean, I feel like we've seen similar products try and do this. I guess some obvious challenges here. I mean, you said 30-day shelf life. I don't think anyone mentioned that, but that seems like almost a non-starter to me to really, make a big push. I think from a taste perspective, at least for my own palate, it seems kind of dairy or, I guess oat milk like forward, like a little too much. So, you're kind of selling me on a product that's about the tea, but it's kind of more like a dairy drink almost. So, and I know it's supposed to be a latte, that makes sense, but I feel like it's not quite there yet in terms of that balance. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, I think there's some interesting stuff here. It's just kind of like, which way do you go with it? What can you get the shelf life to and the price point? Mm-hmm. Those are things that I think will really impact like how well it does.
Sure. In terms of shelf life, we love the HPP method because we believe consumers are much more becoming aware of what's in their beverages. And although we do have a shorter shelf life, we also gain that trust and that knowledge that this needs to be refrigerated and it's a clean label product. And in terms of this dairy-forward taste, we've worked very, very hard on the recipe by having that store and tweaking different iterations. So the truth is that there's very little dairy or oats or a coconut in your drink, and there's more of that natural emulsification and creaminess from our process, our way of making the drinks.
Great. And don't worry, I'm not going to create a competing product called Latif, so that's not going to
Thank
happen.
you.
All right. Well done. Thank you so much.